It's TheGearTester here, and welcome to my initial impressions review of the Buck Woodsman, the Buck 102. I recently purchased the Buck 102 because I needed and was interested in a small, lightweight, fixed blade knife. The Buck 102, or 102, also known as the Woodsman, you can see the number there is stamped right on the back of the sheath, 102, is a very compact, very lightweight little knife. This knife weighs 2.5 ounces. It has a 4-inch blade and is a sweet little knife. And I'm really excited to have it in my possession and to be using it here for the next couple months before I do a full-length review on it. But man, what a cool little item. To give you some idea kind of on weight, the Benchmade Mini Barrage, which I've been carrying for the last month and a half or so as my everyday carry knife, my EDC, this weighs 3.5 ounces. So this little knife is an ounce lighter than my folding knife, and you can see you get substantially more blade length for a lighter weight knife. So I'm really impressed just as I look at the sheath quality here. I like the sheath on the Buck 102 for a couple reasons. First, it has a little hard polymer insert there that keeps the knife from cutting the leather. So this slides right in easily. Then I like that it snaps closed and there is minimal movement there. I also like the fact that this sheath rides high on my belt. So what I'm saying by that is some knife sheaths, you know, the knife connects to your belt down here, and so then you've got a lot of movement. This gets it up higher. So there's less movement, less flopping, but it also means that the knife is higher on my waist, so I'm less likely to brush the knife, knock the knife, and have it flip around on me. Another Buck knife that I really like here is the Buck 119. This is an older knife. This knife is actually older than me. It's been much used and abused and beloved. You can see it's had a lot of wear and tear, but it just recently resharpened it, and it is a great knife. The Buck 119, and I think people think about, when they think of Buck knives, they think of the 119. Okay, and you can see this is a 6-inch blade. When I compare the 102 to it, the Woodsman, you can see there's a substantial size difference. And so I really like this knife as I've played with it and used it. And so I wanted to get one of these littler ones, the 102, the Woodsman, because I thought it would ride really well on my belt and it would give me a fixed blade that was more compact and easier to carry when I'm doing things like hunting or hiking, those kinds of things. What that means is I intend to pair the Buck Woodsman or the Buck 102, but I would pair this little knife because this is not going to be a chopper. This is going to be a carver. I would pair this little knife with something like this Grand Force Brooks mini hatchet, or something like this, the Essie Gibson carving axe. I would pair these together. I've already, keep in mind that I'll have some kind of a folding knife on me, so these would be an excellent set of tools to take on a backpacking trip or even a day hike. These are all light enough that combined the weight is not so substantial that I'm going to feel burdened by having them. But anyway, I'm really excited about the Buck 102, the Buck Woodsman, and I look forward to doing a full-length review for you guys here in a couple months. I've used this little knife to do simple everyday tasks over the last week or so. Simple tasks like opening a letter. I've also cut a bunch of this green strapping up with the Buck 102. This green strapping is used to hold stacks of plywood together, big sheets of plywood in big stacks, and it's very durable, and so cutting it, a whole bunch of it, allows me to test whether or not the knife maintains its sharpness well under significant use. I've also used this little knife to do things that require fine dexterity and fine intentional work, like sharpening a carpenter's pencil here. And I like the fact that the Buck Woodsman's blade is thin enough and fine enough that you can do very fine, careful work with it. If you like this video, I would encourage you to subscribe to my channel for more quality video reviews on the topics of shooting, camping, and survival gear. Also, If you'd like to support my channel, a link in the description of this video will take you to my Patreon account. I would greatly appreciate it if you chose to become a patron of the Gear Tester YouTube channel. Thank you very much for your views and your subscriptions. This is the Gear Tester signing off.